Hello everybody, this is Hockey Pones and you are watching a shift-by-shift video with commentary on 2015 draft-eligible player Filip Chlapik of the Charlottetown Islanders. As with all of my previous videos, this is not intended to be a highlight reel. This is an opportunity for you to watch the player and see his style of play, his strengths, his weaknesses, and how he behaves in just regular in-game situations. You can find highlight reels anywhere else, and as I've always said, I don't think it paints a clear or accurate picture or a fair picture of the players, so that's why I avoid those. Okay, so a few things I wanted to get out of the way. First of all, sorry this took a little bit longer than my previous videos to do. I actually just came back from a trip and didn't have access to my video editing software, and it's a vacation, so I didn't want to do a whole lot of work. So sorry again about the delay there. But also, I just wanted to thank everybody for the feedback that they've given so far and for people asking for particular prospects, and I'm definitely going to do the best I can to accommodate all of you. I know a lot of people want more Connor McDavid, and of course I want to accommodate, but there are a lot of prospects out there, and as I've said before, these videos are intended for people to have an idea of how prospects play and what their style is, and there's a lot of Connor McDavid videos out there, and while I would like to accommodate, you'll get plenty of that footage, and there's already one game that I've done, so I don't want to shortchange other fans of other teams who have players that were drafted, and and by me dedicating time to McDavid, that's time taken away from other people. But I will definitely try the best I can to get that done, and I appreciate the patience, and I do appreciate the feedback. I definitely pay attention to what you people ask and what you want, and I'll see what I can do from there. I have also had someone ask for Pavel Zacha, and I'm definitely going to try to get him. He is on my radar, as I've said before. Also, I try to get games of the players where they have good showings and they have good statistical output, and I'm just kind of waiting for Zacha to have another one of those games, whenever it happens. And if you've noticed, I try to have up-to-date games. I mean, I don't want to go back in time if I can avoid it, but it may reach that point where I have to just get more footage and opportunities. But we'll see how it goes. But Zacha is definitely on my radar, and so I'm going to be getting him, hopefully soon. And let's see who else. I definitely want to get some of the college prospects like Eichel and Hannafin. A lot of the European players I want to get as well, but just getting the footage is a little bit more difficult, so I may have to wait until the World Junior Championships, and then I'll have more access to videos of them, and then I can definitely compile those for you all as well. The downside to that is, since there are only just a few games of the World Junior Championships, you might see some of the same material, but just focused on a different player, and so that's the downside, but at least, everybody will hopefully have an opportunity to see prospects that their team drafted. What else? Well, I definitely feel a lot better about doing a video where I don't have a script written, and so until I completely feel like I bombed making a video, then I'm going to continue doing that format, because it's just too difficult, and it takes away the enjoyment of writing a script and trying to make sure I time everything with so it's in sync with the video, and I can just talk and share my thoughts, and you can watch the player. I'm definitely trying to add some more highlights or lines like underneath the characters so you can pick them out easier and find them, and sometimes they're completely off the mark and I don't know how that happened, but it's a work in progress, so thank you as I continue to try to improve on making these videos. Hopefully it'll reach the point where they each look better than the one prior. As you can see, St. John, they have a 2-0 lead already in the first, and Chlapik, or Chlapik, I've heard a couple different pronunciations just from watching the games, but however it's pronounced, I'm going to pronounce it Chlapik just because that sounds more appropriate. He does score 2 goals and 2 assists in this game, spoiler alert, and Charlottetown goes on to win 6-5. As of this recording, at least the day where I'm recording the commentary, not the day of the game, Chlapik does have 40 points in 32 games, which is second in rookie scoring in the queue, and he actually leads his entire team, the Islanders, in scoring. I believe Daniel Sprong, the next one, has about 30-something points. So he's having a fantastic rookie season, and he's from the Czech Republic. And let's see, he was taken 11th overall in the import draft this year by the Islanders. And he's projected to go in the first round of the 2015 draft. He scored at a point per game pace at the Helinka Memorial Tournament earlier this year with 5 points in 5 games. That looks like it was 1 goal and 4 assists. And the season before that looks like his best performance was on the Czech under-20 team when he scored 35 points in 38 games, which was 16 goals, 19 assists. We're going to see an unusual call in a few moments here where I'm not sure if you're familiar with the Matt Duchene goal from, I think it was a year or 2 ago, where he scored a goal and he was about 3 feet offside, and the linesman didn't call it, and so he just skated right in and scored a goal. And there were some other times when the puck should have been called dead and it wasn't. Here's the goal that's going to be scored. There are times when the play should have been called dead and it wasn't, and then the goal just went in. And in this case, the Islanders scored a goal, but it was actually called off because the play was offside. And so it's apparently a new rule, which I think I read something about that, but I don't read every up-to-date change unless if it's huge. And I know that they had added some changes in the NHL, but I guess that it was also being implemented in the queue here, and so there's an example of that change being done. Nonetheless, it was a very nice pass, and that's one thing that you'll see with Chlapik. He does have very good vision, and he finds the seams pretty well, and he definitely makes some good passes out there, so you can continue to watch that, and that's one of the things I notice with him. He does, I know I've said before that I don't focus a whole lot on skating, but his skating does stand out. He seems to build up some good speed here and there, and so that's definitely something that I look forward to as well. In this shift, he's going to score a goal, jamming in the rebound after there's some traffic in front of the net. There's the goal. And so he brings Charlottetown up on the scoreboard where it's 2-1 now, and they're trailing. And you're basically going to see that as a common theme throughout the game, where St. John, they take a 2-goal lead, and then Charlottetown scores, and then St. John scores, and it keeps going back and forth until finally Charlottetown ties it up to win it. And I'm telling you, because you're not going to see any of the goals by St. John, so keep an eye out on the scoreboard. It's in the top left-hand corner if you haven't noticed already, and just pay attention to when the score changes. And Chlapik is getting a variety of roles in this game. You'd see even strength, he's been used at center, while on the power play, he is usually on the left wing, and when there's a 5-on-3 later on in the game, he's actually used on the point. So he's getting a lot of different situations where at least he can quarterback the power play, and I mean he uses his speed through the neutral zone. That was a nice pass that he set up Daniel Sprong for, I believe. Sorry, that wasn't Sprong. That was Goulet. Goulet actually had a really good game. Here he had 2 goals and 3 assists, so that line really lit up the Sea Dogs. I also wanted to thank the YouTube user, I believe, sorry if I butcher it, but Holo Belo Belo, for basically you had brought up a person that I hadn't heard of before, Daryl Belfry, and he has a list of translatable skills, and I haven't fully researched all of it yet, but it was definitely very interesting and helped me focus on some other things that I hadn't noticed before. And one of those things I noticed with Chlapik is he has a very deceptive shot. At least I think he does. Obviously has some work to do before it's at the professional level, but I mean, he has those nuances where he can fire it off quickly and he gets it on net, but incidentally, he actually doesn't score either of his goals with any vicious snipe. The first goal you saw him score, he just jammed it on a rebound when it just got loose, and the second one that he scores later on in the game was to tie it up. He batted it out at the side of the net, and so I like his toolbox in terms of offensive skills. He has good speed, he shoots well, he sees the ice very well, and he made a beautiful pass right there to create a scoring opportunity. By the way, this is the 5-on-3 I made reference to earlier, where he got some time on the point on the power play. And as I've said before, I don't put a whole lot of stock into skating, but he does seem to be an effortless skater where he doesn't have to move his feet a whole lot, and I know I've said that before on some players where they could move their feet more and have a sense of urgency, but the way he skates, it just doesn't seem to be an issue. So I like his offensive skill set. I do think he gets knocked around and knocked off the puck a little too easily, so strength is something that I think he definitely could work on, but at the same time, you can say that for almost any 18-year-old player. So it's not a big deal, but that is something that would definitely hold him back. I also have said numerous times in previous videos that I like versatility and utility of the players and being able to be used in multiple situations, and unfortunately Chlapik doesn't get any time on the penalty kill, except I think he went out on the ice for the last 5 seconds of a penalty kill. But at the same time, he's a rookie, so I'm not going to hold that against him. What I do appreciate, though, is he seems to be one of the first forwards back on the ice. Well, I'm sorry, one of the first forwards in the defensive zone, where he doesn't cheat and slow down on the back check. He definitely tries to rush back in the defensive zone. So I do think that he does have that discipline, at least defensively, to help his team with an all-around game. The previous shift cut off a little too soon than I had intended, but he was on the ice for another goal, but he didn't get a point on it. He just got a plus. and although he was on the ice for another goal that was scored for, and while he was off the ice, the Islanders scored another goal to make it 4-4. But there's still going to be another goal scored by St. John, and then it's pretty much Charlottetown from there. Anyway, I've said before that I try not to make player comparisons or say upside. I just try to talk about fit for the team. And so with Chlapik, as I pointed out, he's got a good skating ability. He's definitely not the fastest player, but I think that he's a fast player. And he has good attention to detail, at least in the defensive zone. And so, thinking of teams where that would be a good fit, I definitely think Vancouver would be a good team, San Jose, Detroit, Nashville. I think these are all. Oh, actually, he's going to score a goal on this shift, not to sidetrack myself too much. So I just wanted to bring that to your attention. Yeah, basically teams that have good speed and two-way ability. Maybe not the grittiest of teams, so I don't think Los Angeles or St. Louis would be a good fit for them. But actually, here's the goal right here. Don't see it too well, but there you go. But yeah, so those are a few teams that I think where he would be a good fit, such as Vancouver, San Jose, Detroit, Nashville. Can't think of any more off the top of my head without having some awkward silence, so I'll just leave it at that. I also forgot to mention before that another thing I think he needs to work on, which a lot of junior players actually need to work on, is team play. And I know he makes good passes and what have you, but there are definitely times where he tries to do too much with the puck, or he holds on to it too long, and he tries to shoulder all the burden, And so, as he matures and plays in a system, I think that that's something he'll definitely have to work on. Let's see. Another thing I wanted to point out, which I think is important to note, is with Chlapik. Sorry, I'm not even following my own pronunciation of him. But with him being a European, it's really important to note that he could have gone to the KHL, and he was drafted in the second round in the KHL as well, and he chose to come to North America. So I know sometimes people have that apprehension about a European being drafted or having their team take a European. Usually it's Russians, but I think that there's that concern for any team or any player for any country. If it's not North America, there's always that fear in the back of your mind that they may go elsewhere. But I think it's very telling that with Chlapik, he's coming here. He's playing in North America. He passed up on an opportunity to play in the KHL where he could get more money faster. So I don't know the guy personally, but I think that it's very telling that his decision to come here. Oh, he's about to get an assist here. His decision to come here should tell you that he wants to play in the NHL, and I think that people should appreciate that and keep that in mind and not hold his European status against him. But anyway, we are approaching the end of the video, and I already have the next prospect I want to follow, his game downloaded. Unfortunately, Zaka is injured right now, so I don't have an updated game for him, but we'll see how that goes. But as always, I want to thank everybody for watching, and I appreciate you having the patience as I continue to try to get better at this. and hopefully next time I'll even have a better microphone. So have a good day, and I'll see you next time. Take care.